guys, this is Tooth here, and today I'm going to be doing a new series called Nerf Tactics. If you remember watching Nerf SOCOM back in the day, they also had a Nerf Tactics series. So I'm just going to kind of be updating that. And this first episode is going to be starting your loadout. Like, what gun do you want? What ammo are you going to use? Your attachments. Alright, so the first thing you got to figure out is what blaster am I going to use? You got to figure out a blaster that is effective and yet still fun and easy to use. There's only two options. You can choose a Springer or a Flywheeler. Here are two classic options. For a Flywheeler, the Strife, and for a Springer, the Retaliator. Now you got to decide, which one do I pick? Do I want faster fire rates or better range? With the Strife, because it's a Flywheeler, you can shoot really, really fast. As fast as you can pull that trigger, it'll fire. But the accuracy and range won't be quite as good. But with the Retaliator, your fire rate may not be as fast, but it'll have longer range and better accuracy. Now you gotta choose which one. Faster fire rate, but less range. Slower fire rate, but more range. Less accuracy or more accuracy. Pick one. Between the two, my personal opinion would be the Retaliator. Alright, now you got your blaster. What do you want to put on it? You can choose between a stock, a barrel, an optic, and a different magazine. Starting off with the barrel, there are about 3 or 4 classic options for the Retaliator. There's, of course, its standard barrel, which is a bit long and will probably decrease your performance, but is very comfortable to hold. The modulus sniper barrel, which doesn't fit together quite as well, but is still comfortable and won't decrease your performance as much, though it will decrease it quite a bit. The Recon Mark II barrel, which the Recon Mark II was a reskin of the Retaliator in a way, so this barrel will go well with the Retaliator and will basically not decrease the performance at all because of how short it is. Lastly is the modulus suppressor. This one came with the Mark III Recon, which it's alright, but doesn't really go well. It doesn't really match with the very circularness with all these angles. Doesn't really go well, but I'd say no. Now, out of all 4 barrels that we just looked at, I believe that the most effective one to use would be the Recon Mark II barrel. The Recon Mark II is a reskin of the Retaliator, which was a reskin of the original Recon. Now, this means, like I said, this barrel will go very well with the Retaliator, and it looks pretty similar to the Retaliator barrel. So you want the Retaliator barrel, but you know it's too long, so I suggest buying this. It's a short barrel that won't decrease your performance, but will go very well with the blaster. Next up is the stock. Now, there's obviously quite a few classic options, such as the original Retaliator stock. But me personally, I wouldn't recommend anyone use it. I'm 6 feet tall, and it is way too short. Even for when I was about 10 years old, it felt way too short to really shoulder and use. But what about something a bit older, like the original Recon stock? This was a pretty cool stock that allowed you to carry an extra magazine in it. It's pretty long and good enough for me and my size, but it is a bit flimsy, but as long as you don't put too much pressure on it that allows it to bend, it should be fine. Now, if you think the original Recon stock is too old, it doesn't go well, then there's a better option for you. And that is the Regulator stock, or the Recon Mark III stock, or that Weird Elite 2.0 blaster stock. It's long, holds a magazine, and will fit well with the blaster, except for Elite 2.0 one. I don't have one. I'm trying to get one. I might just go steal one off that Elite 2.0 one from Walmart and paint it. Don't tell Walmart. Now, there is another classic option for the Retaliator as a stock, and that one is the Raider/Rampage adjustable stock. No, this is not actually the Raider stock. This is a Super Soaker stock. My Raider stock, I left it at my dad's office because we're filming a video, so this will have to film in the same place. It's literally the exact same except a little tube and some painting. Skip it. This is a good stock. You can adjust it to like 4 different lengths or put it out all the way to be nice and long or super compact. At this length, it's literally a Retaliator stock, so this might be the best one for you. But there is one more option that actually isn't even Nerf, and that is the Worker AK stock. It's literally one of my favorite stocks because it is very long and comfortable, and looks freaking awesome. But in hindsight, I think I really might like the regulator stock because it's the same length and holds a mag. Now, out of all those options, which are you going to choose? Do you want an adjustable stock so you can be CQB or long range? Or do you want a fixed stock that holds a magazine so you can swap them back and forth for tactical uses? Now, since I don't have a regulator stock, I'm going to have to choose the Raider/Rampage stock because it is completely adjustable. Even though I'm just going to keep it in the long position anyway because it's still tactical to bring it out. So, next up is your magazine. These are the two most basic mags. You got the 6-round mag and the 12-round mag, the 10-dart mag, the 18 and 25 dart drum, though this one's kind of rare because it was only ever released with the original Alpha Trooper. But I'm able to hold 20 darts in this, so cool. The 6-round mag may be really compact, but with only 6 darts, you're going to be reloading constantly. Unless you have one of the old Nerf bandoliers, which allowed you to carry 4 mags, I wouldn't personally use a 6-round mag as my primary mag. I would use it as a backup secondary mag. Now, what about the 10-dart mag? It's actually my personal favorite capacity magazine, but I wouldn't recommend these because they're very, very rare. Nerf never released 10-round mags in anything that I can think of other than the Raven and the new Elite 2.0 Double Punch. This is a pretty rare magazine. But unlike the 10-round mag, the 12-round mag has been in literally everything. Right off the bat, it was on the Retaliator. It was on the Delta Trooper. It was on... Okay, wait, there was a 10-round magazine with the new Echo. But this has been in literally everything. The 12-round mag is a very common option. Now, as far as drums go, you got the 18-dart drum, the 25-round drum, the 30-round drum, the 35-round drum, and now the 50-dart drum. Out of all of those, I wouldn't really recommend any other than this one because 20 darts and it is way smaller than an 18-dart magazine. And it's actually pretty compact, so I would genuinely recommend this because it takes up like 0 room and doesn't like bump in your hand like the 25-dart drum, the 50-dart drum, or the 35 symmetrical drum. Which, by the way, if you're going to use this 35 symmetrical drum, the reason that the symbol is that way is because it was meant to be held this way with the Raider. So if you're going to use it upward, it's not going to feed very well because it's meant to have gravity feeding the darts. Now, there is also one other alternative you can use, but again, it's not Nerf. And that is the Air Warriors 8-round mag. They also make 10-round mags, which are way easier to find than the Nerf ones. And I actually have 2 of these. They're one of my favorite mags. And they don't take up that much more room than a 6-round mag. Now, out of all these mags, which one should you use? In my humble opinion, it's the 12-dart magazine. It's super common, holds a really good, decent, average, well, good enough amount of darts. Alright, next up is an optic. Now, before you add an optic, you have to decide whether it would go well with this blaster. Me personally, in this configuration, I wouldn't put on an optic. It just would look too weird with the really shortened barrel. If you had on the longer Retaliator barrel, it would probably go well to have a nice optic on there, but for this configuration, no, I wouldn't put an optic on it. But you can, and you probably should, because it looks super tactical. So congratulations, you built your blaster. Now it's deciding, what darts do you want to use? Announcer voice activated. Alright, I'm not even going to bother to talk about ammunition, because the only darts you should ever use is the Adventure Force Waffles, because they are more accurate than literally anything you can ever buy, and you can literally buy a pack of 200 for like 10 bucks at Walmart. And they look absolutely awesome when you put them into clear magazines. Alright, now you got your gun and your ammunition. This will be the end of the first part of Nerf Tactics Reborn. Yeah, that's good. Alright, in about a week or so, or whenever I feel like it, I will release a part 2 to this video discussing gear. This is Lagator Tooth signing off.
It's Nerf or nothing! Oh.